Well, good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, as the case may be. Oh, I'm slightly off centre here, aren't I? I've rearranged a couple of my bits of equipment. So there. Hopefully, if I sit here and talk, you can still all hear me, even though in my eye line the microphone isn't quite in the centre. Anyway, hello everybody. How are we doing? In fact, yeah, I need to just slightly move over the equipment I have. How's everyone's Wednesday going? I hope we're having a fantastic day. I hope it's very merry indeed. And you know what? I'm here to make it merrier. I am Charlie Merriman. I'm merry by name. I'm merry by nature. And my aim is to make your day all the merrier by being in this stream. Wednesday, as always, is chill, shiny hunting time. And this is my Pokemon Silver Dream Team Quest. Pokemon Silver is my favourite. I realised the camera wasn't focusing there, but you get the idea. Pokemon Silver is my favourite game of all time, be it Pokemon game or not. So I'm very excited to be doing this. This is a quest I've had planned for a very, very long time. So to get it underway feels really, really good. I have been doing some resets for Shiny Totodile, our first Dream Team member, off stream, because otherwise it would just take an incredibly, incredibly long time. It will still take an incredibly long time, but, you know, doing what I can to speed things along, also because I'm excited about it. And today, I was just finalising what my Dream Team members will be. The last one is one of two, but I'm looking forward to talking to you about your opinions on what they are and catching up with you generally. How have our Wednesdays been? My next episode of my podcast, Chazingdra Chats, came out today featuring Wigglia, Pokemon VGC competitor, cosplayer, content creator, and much more. Hope you enjoy listening to that. If you haven't already, had a really inspiring chat with Wigglia, so do enjoy that. But for now, it's time to boot up the old Game Boy and get resetting for Totodile. Let's do this. What? Sorry, my, there we go. There we go. It wasn't letting me click, but we got there in the end. So, I do need to be slightly further over. Let's move this slightly further over. I just slightly shifted some of my equipment, but I think I put it too far in one direction. Anyway, hello Ashley. Good to see you again. It's been a while. Happy New Year. I don't believe I've seen you all year. So, thanks so much for being here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. How was your winter break? How are you doing? Thanks so much for stopping by. Hello, Meddler. It's your birthday today, and if Raikou doesn't put the fries in the bag, stay in the Ultra Ball so you can get the rare candy and Tintau, you're going to be livid. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday to you, Meddler. But love to hear that Gen 2 love coming out for Raikou. And the Tin Tower, of course I am playing Pokemon Silver. So you're hunting for Raikou right now, are you, Meddler, alongside tonight's stream? Well, if so, couldn't be more appropriate, and I hope you're having a very chill time. Welcome in, everybody. Try and get as many resets done as I possibly can. So, I'm resetting there, but I didn't check the Pokemon. What's going on? Well, first of all, let me just get my keyboard here so I can adjust the encounters as we go along. Oops. That is the issue with having the hotkey as the up arrow. Changes the scenes on the stream. So, basically, the way shininess works in Generation 2, there are a couple of things to bear in mind. In terms of the starter, the first partner Pokemon, only male variants can be shiny. Also, male first partner Pokemon are 7/8. That's a 7/8 chance of that, whereas female is only 1/8, so that's in our favour. Also, you'll have seen that I reset when I saw that the HP stat was 21. That also is not going to work. There you go, have another 21 there. Only an HP stat of 20 is going to yield a shiny Pokemon in this case. Again, that's just how that's just how the values work in this particular game for shininess for the first partner Pokemon. So yeah, we're just going to hang out and chill while I try and get shiny Totodile. Now, the odds are 1 in 8,192 which is pretty high, and you'll see we're only just approaching 500 resets now. So yeah, we've got to work it out, but I mean, it can happen at any time. It could happen this very reset, it could be the next one. There's no knowing. There's no knowing. Another 21 HP. Hello, Ronnie! Good to see you as always. I'm just moving things over because that glare from my light is very annoying, isn't it? Pretty annoying. I'm doing what I can so that my camera doesn't pick up the glare. That's okay, I guess. Right there. Okay, we will work with that. How has your Wednesday been going, Ronnie? Did I adjust the encounters? No, I don't think I did. Hope you've had a fantastic day. And what did you think of Wiggly's Chazingdra Chats episode, Ronnie? I know that you are an avid listener and watcher, so I highly appreciate that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the chat that I had with Wiggly. That is on the channel, everybody. My podcast, Chazingdra Chats. Here's another thing. That is a female Totodile, so that cannot be shiny for this first partner hunt. Chazingdra Chats, we take a stroll through the life stories of people in the Pokemon community, discovering the 6 Pokemon on their dream team along the way. I don't know why you can suddenly see the reflection of the light in my Game Boy screen, because that wasn't the case last week. Anyway, these are the things we deal with when we're streaming. You're very tempted to use the Master Ball. You'd rather save it for in case you run into a shiny that can flee. Raikou doesn't stay in the Ultra Ball. So you can get the rare candy in Tin Tower. What do you mean by that, Meddler? So you can get the rare candy in the Tin Tower. Is there some kind of rare candy that's locked to Raikou? I am intrigued. Because also Raikou surely is a roaming Pokemon that can flee. That's the first Totodile we've actually seen tonight. Because the others were definitely not shiny. So yeah, illuminate me, Meddler. Still have to listen to the last part, but it was good. I'm glad that you're enjoying it already. Yes, yes, Wiggly's first word. Pikachu. Allegedly, hear more about that in the episode that I released with Wiggly today. Yeah, apparently her first word Pikachu, which pretty difficult word to say. Far more difficult than something like mama. But apparently so. You think you know a last Pokemon? Yes, Ronnie, I think you might do as well, since you were in Stuttgart. And Wiggly was talking up a big game about that Pokemon there, yeah. Discover Wiggly's 6 Pokemon picks for her dream team, everybody. In the episode on the channel right now. So, I have been filming myself doing this after streaming. Sometimes whenever I do this hunt, I try and make sure I'm filming it, apart from the odd few here and there, so that I can capture my reaction when Totodile does shine. Which has been nice in its own way, you know? And just have YouTube on or something while doing some hunting. I do have a copy of Pokemon Gold. So, if necessary, I can double up on this hunt. Make it twice as likely to get the Totodile. But the whole point of a Dream Team quest is that you find all the shinies on the file. That you... on just the one file. But we'll see how practical that is as time goes on. When is my episode coming? Well, Randy, well... At some point. At some point. I know a few people have asked when I'll do a Chazingdra Chats with myself. My life story, my Dream Team Pokemon. It was very flattering. I'm very... it's very kind of you all to want to know. Yeah, at some point. I have it in mind. I have it in mind. So, today, I'm just refocusing my camera. I was contemplating the other members of this dream team. Now, a few of them I knew since last week and since before. Definitely Espeon. I will never forget when my EV evolved into Espeon. It might have been my very first silver playthrough. It wasn't on my team. It wasn't on my Elite Four team or anything like that. But I think, yeah, I heard about Umbreon and Espeon. I'd heard about the happiness required for Eevee to evolve into one of those. And I guessed the time of day. And yeah, it was daytime at Eevee evolved. I'm not sure I was even sort of trying to get Espeon. Or maybe I was. I think I had decided at that point I preferred Espeon to Umbreon. Both great. And it evolved. And, you know, happiness takes a while to come to fruition, let's say, in Generation 2. It evolved into Espeon. I was over the moon. Absolutely loved it. So Espeon's definitely on the team. Before I tell you more, let me just catch up on these messages. Trying to get it so you don't have to grind on Victory Road. Managed to beat most of the games without grinding for the Elite Four, on set mode without the bag, but not Crystal. Again, quite a few things I need clarification on there, Meddler. So, A, what's the bag? Without the bag, but not Crystal. Trying to get... What are you trying to get so you don't have to grind on Victory Road? Sorry if I'm being very slow here. Yes, I need a couple of clarifications there. But welcome, Jack. I'm doing very well, thank you, Jack. I hope you're doing very well as well. I went out for dinner with a friend last night. That was delightful. And yeah, it's been a good day. Released this week's episode of Chazingdra Chats, and I did some editing for my Safari Week video, which is in the works. I don't know how soon you can all expect it, but feels good to have filmed it and just be in the edit now. I'm looking forward because it's the first sort of classic video essay style video that I will have done on the channel. And it's kind of that kind of content is kind of why I got into content creation in the first place. So I'm really looking forward to that. But how has your day been going, Jack? And Ronnie, actually, no, Kingdra is not in my first team. I think I only realised later that Kingdra was my favourite Pokemon. So no, and also, I don't know, actually, I did have a friend who I played Pokemon with. He had gold even, and I had silver. And we would trade, but for some reason I never remember trading to get Kingdra. I think because, in fact, you might have just unlocked a memory here for me, Ronnie. I think we tried, but because of the name Kingdra, I long thought that Kingdra evolved by trading holding the King's Rock. And I think we even tried trading, and it was holding the King's Rock, and then obviously nothing happened. And I learned that it had to be the Dragon Scale, and I didn't know where to get the Dragon Scale from. It's buried within Mount Mortar, I think. I love that. Mount Mortar doesn't go anywhere. It's a big maze. You can get Tyrogue from it, you can get the Dragon Scale from it, some other helpful items, train there, obviously. The mystique around Mount Mortar as a child, thinking, but it's got to go somewhere. Maybe if I beat Red, then a new path opens up or something. But no. And I love that. Johto does a good line in those sorts of non-essential locations that you can just wander around in. So yeah, in order to get Kingdra, you have to get the Dragon Scale from within Mount Mortar. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't have Kingdra on my first playthrough, Ronnie, but good question. You're great, you're ready to go. 8-0 this weekend in Birmingham, Jack. Very nice. Good luck. That is that's the confidence we love to see from you, Jack. Good luck. Hope you've been putting the practice in. I will see you there. I will be there in Birmingham. I'll be running the 8,192 Shiny Challenge, inspired by Nora in the Future and Quick Panic, who have been doing a couple of these events at live Pokemon tournaments over the past year or so. gathering people and trying to find as many shinies as possible on the older games where the odds are 1 in 8,192 in an hour. So if you're going to be in Birmingham, please do bring your older games and your consoles. And I'm looking at you there, Jack, as well. Generations 2 to 5 Pokemon games. Bring them along. Let's see how many shinies we can find. Excited to see who turns up for that. Excited to get to know who the shiny hunters are amongst the competitive VGC community. But anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Jack, and I'm looking forward to seeing whoever else might be in Birmingham. How did I discover that Kindra was my favourite Pokemon? That's a really good question, Jack, and I'll get around to that after I've been through the other members of the Dream Team that I'm hunting for. Getting all of the rare candies as backup. I see, okay, in case if one of your party members needs the boost to beat Lance without using an item in battle. Right, thank you very much indeed for clarifying that, Meddler. Apologies for being slow. But what does Raikou have to do? If Raikou doesn't stay in the Ultra Pool... Oh, so you just want to get Raikou before you get the rare candy in the Tin Tower. Is that right, Meddler? Have I understood that? So you're not actually shiny hunting Raikou. You'll just want to catch it for the Pokedex. Make sure you've got that sorted. Is that right? And welcome in, everyone. If you're just joining, welcome to some very chill shiny hunting. Please do like and subscribe if we're enjoying, everybody. Latest episode of my podcast, Chazingdra Chats, featuring Wigglia, out now on the channel and indeed on audio apps. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. What are we all doing alongside stream tonight? Are we doing shiny hunting of our own? Are we doing some competitive Pokemon? Or are we doing something completely different? Are we cooking, perhaps? Let me know. And so, where was I? Kingdra is going to be on this Dream Team, of course. And this time I can trade to evolve it because... As I said, I have a copy of Pokemon Gold. I also have Crystal, actually, and another Game Boy Advance SP. I'm still working, incidentally, on my Pokemon Crystal playthrough that I started over the festive period. Loving dipping into a bit of that. So Kindra's going to be there. That's my favourite Pokemon. And the reason why, Jack, to answer your question now... How did I discover that Kindra's my favourite Pokemon? Yeah, I think... At some point in every Pokemon trainer's life, they start to think about what their favourite Pokemon would be. And it's not something I've given much serious thought to be honest with you. And someone asked, and I think I quite quickly realised it would be Kingdra for a variety of reasons. Generation 2 is my favourite, as long-time viewers know. Johto, my favourite region. Water and Dragon is such a cool type combination that Kingdra has. I wanted it to be a Pokemon that is somewhat competitively viable, you know, stats that can hold up, because I, of course, really enjoy competitive Pokemon. I think the design is great. I don't know, it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation because I don't know if it was Kingdra that sort of made me like seahorses, sea dragons, that sort of thing, or if I already liked them and so Kingdra just sort of fit the bill. But there was that. I do remember buying a seahorse Beanie Baby, if anyone remembers those, when I was younger. So clearly there was some kind of affinity there. Also the mystique around it because I couldn't, or I clearly didn't, and it was difficult to trade to evolve it. So all of these things, Jack, is there anything else to add to that? Kind of also the fact that it evolves from Pokemon introduced in Generation 1, because that is the first game I played, but it was Silver that really spoke to me. I still remember our Pokemon Generation 1 Master Guide. Don't know if anyone here remembers that, but released with Pokemon Red and Blue, all the tips and tricks. That was amazing. Yeah, anything else? Always like water types, always like dragon types. Yeah, so there you go, Jack. A multitude of reasons why Kingdra is my favourite Pokemon. And I think, as I say, it was just when someone asked me that question and I stopped and thought about it that Kingdra just immediately made sense. So yeah. How about everyone else? Why is your favourite Pokemon your favourite Pokemon? Now, Ronnie, I already know some of those details from you because you've been very kindly sharing your dream team with me, of course. But, I mean, you can repeat the story again if you would like. But anyone else, why is your favourite Pokemon your favourite Pokemon? Did do a bit of shiny hunting back in the day. Cool. Cool, Jack. Would you consider doing it again? Next one is EUIC for you, Ronnie. Yes, of course. We will miss you. We'll miss you. Very much enjoyed hanging out in Stuttgart with you. But yeah, UIC. Late February. Much earlier in the year as compared to last year. Don't have my first Game Boy anymore. I do have my first Game Boy still, Ronnie. The thing is, Game Boy Colors do not have a backlight. So it's very hard to see the screen. It's one of those things where you go back and play something like a Game Boy Color and you're like, how did I ever see this? How did I ever see what was going on? You really need to play in a bright room. It's like when I picked up my Game Boy Advance SP for the first time in ages. I was like, wow, this screen is tiny. It's so interesting getting used to these things again. But yes, I do have it, Ronnie. Just certainly for the purposes of streaming. This makes more sense. But you've given me an idea, actually. Maybe when I'm offline, I could hunt in my original Game Boy. That could be fun. It was a turquoise one. Still is a turquoise one. It hasn't changed colour. What about everyone else? What was their first games console and what design was it? I guess technically as a family our first was the original PlayStation, but in terms of one that I owned, yeah, would have been my turquoise Game Boy Color. Just looked it up. Oh no, wasting time trying to catch Raikou since in Crystal you have to beat the Elite Four first. Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, Meddler. But yes, indeed, at least you got Entei. And those roaming legendary beasts are no mean feat to catch, so I hope you're feeling pleased about that. But glad you looked it up, at least. Because if you hadn't, then you would have just been stuck wasting your time for even longer. So does that mean you've got all the rare candies you need now, Meddler? The Silver SP for you, Ronnie, was your first console. Very cool, very cool. Yes, this black one was my first Game Boy Advance SP. I had the original Game Boy Advance as well. But the battery cover on the back is really worn down now. So, it just falls off. Anyway, so, that's 3 members of the Dream Team. Feraligatr, Espeon, and Kingdra. Next up will be Forretress. I say next up, actually, Pineco Forretress will probably be the second one that we go for, given when you encounter stuff in the game. I love Bug type. I think Bug and Steel is a great combination. I remember when Pineco that I had in my... What happened there? Did I say no to the Totodile? Remember when the Pineco I had, which again wasn't my first playthrough. Ah, there we go. Evolved into Fortress, and I'd never realised it was Bug and Steel. I'd never realised it was Bug and Steel type. I think this was very early on when I didn't really know. I was too young to really comprehend the extent of the type chart. So yeah, I would go up against Koga in the Elite Four. Fortress would come out. I'd be doing damage to it, but thinking, what? Why is that 2 female Totodile in a row? That's a 1 in 8 times 1 in 8 chance. Pretty rare. Why is this doing no damage to this Fortress without ever realising fully that it's a part Steel type? And I love the headbutt mechanic. I think Pineco's really cute. I wanted a Bug type on the team, I think, fundamentally. Fortress, I love a tanky Pokemon too. Much as Hyper Offense is fun, it is also nice just... Oh my goodness, 3 female Totodile in a row. What are the odds? 1 in 8 times 1 in 8 times 1 in 8. Those are the odds. And I can't do that math in my head, I don't think. Maybe I can. 8 times 8, 64. 64 times 8. A high number. 1 in like 500 or something. Pretty impressive. But nowhere near the shiny odds 1 in 8, 192 in these games. There we go. That's a male one. So that's why Fortress is on the team. Do I have a specific name for Kingdra? That's a really good question, Ronnie. Well, clearly no. That little sigh tells you everything you need to know. I do not have a specific name for Kingdra. And you know what? I never actually used to nickname my Pokemon. I would like to look at the screen and see what Pokemon I had in the party, you know. Their name's right there. I didn't sort of want to... I wanted to enjoy the name for what it was. I didn't want to write over it with a different name, if that makes sense. So no, I don't. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see. And that's part of the fun of shiny hunting. Depending on when each shiny appears, that will kind of, I guess, dictate its name. Although we could come up with a theme for the nicknames, I guess. I don't know, though. Part of me kind of likes the idea of just leaving it to fate to see what the nickname is going to be. Whatever we happen to be talking about at the time. But good question, Ronnie. All 6 rare candies lying around Johto. Is that only 6? Wow. Meddler. I say only 6. I'd expect around 8, so actually not that many more. More from Buena's password. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, tell her the password. Get a little prize. And you still have your silver SP, Ronnie. That's wonderful. A little bit of nostalgia. Story for Oakmon. Falling out of Pokemon, Oakmon really helped recapture love. Ah. I mean, that doesn't sound boring to me. Jack, that doesn't sound boring to me. That's a very charming story. 504, you think? Oh, I see. 64 times 8. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, 512. Well, 1 in 512 chance. Goes to show, you know. Say that to someone who doesn't shiny hunt, and they'd say, "What? Those odds are so low." Then when you do shiny hunt, 1 in 8,192. Much bigger, but it can happen at any time. Any time. And having gone more than 50,000 encounters for a Venonat I then ran away from in Safari Week. I definitely due some 8192 luck, so maybe this Totodile will shine pretty early. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. First, non-star's favourite Pokemon is Binnacle and Barbaracle. Oh my goodness, Jack. I can't believe I never knew this about you before. That's fascinating. I haven't heard anyone else give that answer, so I'm looking forward to reading this. You discovered Binnacle Barbaracle doing Rock Smash to get heart scales, for those who remember. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rock Smash to get heart scales. Useful currency in the Pokemon games. Kept finding Dwebble. Very cute Pokemon. After a long while, I ran into Binnacle. It's got a perfect design. What's not to love? It's certainly fun. Couple of hands, couple of eyes. What's not to love? Quite strong. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not so familiar with Binnacle Barbaracle's stats, actually. Funny Pokemon. Maybe one day, Jack. Maybe one day. I know that Amy Wosley, trading card gamecaster, is not the biggest fan of Binnacle and Barbaracle. But it takes all sorts, doesn't it? So, that's 4 members of the Dream Team that I've decided on. And I will be updating the layout, the stream layout at some point, in order to reflect the team. And updating the video descriptions too, so that everyone tuning in knows what we're going for. For Alligator, Espeon, Kingdra, Fortress. Next up will be Piloswine. Ice is my favourite type. I was deciding between Donphan and Piloswine, and I thought, oh well, it's got to have the Ice type in there as well. It's my favourite type. And yeah, It might be because I've got a Phanpy on my team in Pokemon Crystal that I'm playing through at the moment. But also, oh yeah, just the Ice Path has so many good memories for me. Pilotwine's cute. I just, yeah, I think I feel more of a connection to Pilotwine than I do to Domfan. So that's member number 5. The reasoning is less solid than for the other picks, but sometimes, you know, they just... Pokemon just speaks to us, I guess. Obviously, going for all Johto Pokemon in this Dream Team quest, that seemed only right. Swinub is kind of the only viable Ice-type Pokemon you can have on a team before the Elite Four. You only get Sneasel after. In fact, all the way up Mount Silver. Delibird doesn't, yeah, only learns Present, I believe. Or maybe it learns some TMs, but it's also insanely rare, Delibird. Fan of Price as well. I like the older energy of that gym leader. And of course, Pilotwine is Price's ace. So, Manaphy was always your favourite Pokemon meddler as a kid because cute water type. Good reasoning. Solid. Sorry for why shiny Mesprit or Mesprit is your favourite Pokemon now. Kind of personal that you want to save it for a future shiny hunt. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for sharing, Meddler. And that'll be a very special shiny hunt indeed. So sending all the best of luck to you for that whenever you choose to do it. Do I know your second favourite Pokemon, Ronnie? I'm trying to... I think I've got this right. Togekiss is your favourite. In terms of second favourite... I would guess... I guess Celebi. And I guess specifically Shiny Celebi, given the story that you shared about your liking for that particular Shiny and Pokemon. So I guess Shiny Celebi. Pinnacle constantly gets outshined. No pun intended on this shiny hunting stream, Jack. Go-Go, Pangoro, Tyrantrum, Aurora's Talonflame, Goodra. But I think that's part of what makes... what can define a favourite Pokemon for us, you know? A Pokemon that's slightly off the beaten track. I certainly always enjoy those Pokemon far more than the more popular ones, more generally popular ones. Pilotwine, probably better than Sneasel. I mean, yeah, in Generation 2, Dark and Ice-type moves are classified as special, and Sneasel is a physical attacker, so that means its special attack stat is not very high. And so it can't deal much damage with Dark and Ice-type moves. So yeah, I totally see where you're coming from, Jack. But it would still be so cool to have Sneasel on a team. Dynamite, good to see you. Thanks so much for hopping into the chat. It's always a pleasure to see a new name in the chat. And your question, what made me want to hunt in the original games, not Heart Gold Soul Silver? Because Pokemon Silver is my favourite game of all time, essentially. Generation 2 holds such a special place for me, so I've always wanted to do a Generation 2 Dream Team quest. Yeah, that's a simple answer for you, Dynamite. Are you a shiny hunter yourself? Tell me a little bit about your background within Pokemon, and what's your favourite Pokemon? Ribombee is your second favourite Pokemon, Ronnie. I see. But I don't believe it's on your Dream Team, so does that mean I can ask you why is Rabombi your second favourite Pokemon? Great choice, though. Hopefully we get Binnacle in Generation 10 for Generation 10's Regulation A. Generation 10's answer to Regulation A. I hope for your sake as well, Jack, that we do. Bit of Binnacle, Barbaracle love. And a very well-named Pokemon. I enjoy that choice of name. Yeah, Generation 10. Wonder what will happen. So many questions. So many developments, exciting developments in store, I'm sure, for us all. Toka's Pokedex number is 468. Shiny at that number. Maybe, Ronnie. I mean, that would be amazing if it happened. So thank you. Hopefully you've spoken that into existence. Let's find out. You do love Rabombi. Might be top 3 Alola Pokemon for you, Jack. Cool. How come you love Rabombi, Jack? And what are your top 2 Alola Pokemon? Shell Smash White Herb, yeah. A strong, strong combination, Jack. Sharply boosting your stats whilst healing up the lowered ones. Right, well. I have been talking to you about what dream team I've decided on. So far, it's Relegator, Espeon, Kingdra, Fortress, Piloswine. And for number 6, I have an interesting scenario. And please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying the stream, everybody. It would mean a huge amount. And that is, I don't know if member number 6 is going to be Xatu or Skarmory. Skarmory is a Silver exclusive. Part of me thinks it's cool to have a Silver exclusive on this Silver Dream Team quest. I think Skarmory's really, really cool. I remember running into it for the first time when I played through Pokemon Silver for the very first time. Steel and Flying, that was a unique type combination all the way up until, well, I guess it would have been Generation 7 with Celesteela. I think that's right. That route south of Blackthorn City holds a lot of memories for me. I remember being on that route a lot when I played through when I was younger. Maybe just because I was leveling up, trying to beat Claire. Tough. 8th gym leader, but uses Kingdra, of course, as her ace. So shout out to you, Claire. Steel, of course, new for Generation 2 as well. So that's quite a nice nod. Generation 2 on this Silver Dream Team quest if it is Skarmory. But then on the other hand you have Xatu. And Xatu, I think really, 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 really cool designs. I've always loved the design of Natu and Xatu. Also, very cool that it's just in that one patch of grass in the ruins of Alf where Natu appears, along with Smeargle, let's not forget. Xatu is one that's sort of grown on me more recently, though, I guess. I was less into Xatu at the time, I was definitely more into Skarmory, so maybe that tells us something about what the target should be. The problem is that Skarmory is a 5% encounter in Route 45, I believe it is. And that is the only place it appears in the game. Now, you can do a repel trick so that only Skarmory appears on that route. But then you're dealing with a 5% encounter rate. Very, very, very slow. And if anyone doesn't know what a repel trick is, you use a repel leading a Pokemon that is the, I think, same level as the level of the Pokemon that you want to find, and you can look up what level Pokemon appear at. And that will cut out all the encounters with anything below that level, because the whole idea behind repels is that they block encounters with weaker Pokemon. So that's defined as any Pokemon lower than the level your leading Pokemon is. I think you can up the encounter rate with the Pokemarch on the radio that you can play through the Pokegear. But then I think that doubles the encounter rate, actually. So that would mean a 10% encounter rate, and that's still very, very low. And part of me wonders, if I were to go for Skarmory, whether it's worth even doing a repel trick. May as well have the chance of phasing on some kind of other shiny. Fampi would be really cool. You do have a lot of Geodude and you have some Graveler, and I think they can use self-destruct, which would be rubbish. It would be rubbish to fail a self-destructing shiny Pokemon. But there's that. Whereas Natu is a 90% encounter rate in that patch of grass in the Ruins of Alph. 10% Smeargle. And to phase on a Smeargle would be really cool. Phase on a 10%. So they kind of balance each other out, because Skarmory could be a 10% encounter. Natu could be a 90% encounter. So yeah, that's what I'm debating. I don't need to sort of make a decision on that until way in the future, and maybe it'll be a case, actually, that I'll get all the way up to Blackthorn City and then see how slow the encounters really are for Skarmory. And whether it's worth going for that or not, or whether I go for Natu. So maybe I can only answer that question much later on. But that's the proposed Dream Team. So Feraligatr, Espeon, Kingdra, Fortress, Piloswine, and then Skarmory or Xatu. What do you all think? Do you like the sound of that Dream Team? Would you go for Natu or Skarmory? But I think mainly my question here is, if you were doing a Dream Team quest in Generation 2, all the remakes, of course, Hot Gold, Soul Silver, what would your Dream Team be? Now, the thing is, right, if any Pokemon were available before the Elite Four, Larvitar would definitely be on my team. Misdreavus would definitely be on my team. However, you can only get those after the Elite Four. You can only get those around Mount Silver, which is essentially at the very end of the game. So it's kind of annoying. I would love to do a playthrough with those Pokemon, but it won't be this one. I guess what I could do is go for the definites for this time around, so to speak. So that would be Feraligatr, Espeon, Kingdra, pre the Elite Four. And then try do the Elite Four with just 3 Pokemon. And then Shiny Hunt for the others when I'm in Kanto. But the thing is, the levels are going to be so much higher. You get less of a sense of journey if there are someone in your team that you catch much later on. Misdreavus is my favourite ghost type. So if any Pokemon were available at any time, probably Feraligatr, Espeon, Kingdra, Tyranitar, and Misdreavus, and then as a 6th, maybe Houndour, actually, which is also only in Kanto. I have a bit of a history with Houndour, because I remember when I was younger, much younger, opening a booster pack from the Gold and Silver era. So what was it? Neo Destiny, Neo Fate, something like that. And pulled a shiny Houndour card. Not Houndoom, Houndour. And I just thought that was so cool that a pre-evolved Pokemon had a shiny card. It's sort of lurking in the grass. I remember when I told my friend Kyle Quick Panic about that. He knew instantly the card that I was talking about. He said, "Oh, you mean the one that's lurking in the grass?" I was so impressed. So I got that card. When Pokemon Sleep came out, 2 days, within 48 hours of Pokemon Sleep having been launched, I woke up to a shiny Houndour, which was insanely lucky. In Pokemon Shining Pearl, you might remember that when you're underground, you can collect those Diglett, and then for a certain amount of time, the shiny odds are boosted. Well, the very first time that all the Diglett were collected, and there was that boost to the shiny odds, the very first Pokemon I ran into when they auto boosted was a Houndoom, and it was shiny. I couldn't believe it. You know, they're boosted, but that only means like 1 in 2,000 and something. 48. Yeah, 1 in 2048, I believe. So I was still insanely lucky to run into that shiny Houndoom. And otherwise, just ran into a totally random shiny Houndour in Pokemon Scarlet. So, Houndour and I have a bit of a history. That would probably be the dream team if I were doing it, if all Pokemon were available before the Elite Four. Is there anything I'm missing there? Because you can also get Slugma after the Elite Four, Murkrow, Chinchou. Well, actually, maybe you can get Chinchou before. Porygon 2. I mean, Porygon and then Porygon 2. I'm thinking about Johto Pokemon specifically. So yeah, maybe it would be Franagator, Espeon, Kingdra, Tyranitar, Mischievous, Houndoom. Oops. So I guess what I could do is I can get these shinies and then shiny hunt the others on gold or something and trade them over. But then we've got Problems of Disobedience, and again, there'll be a much higher level, which is less fun. I could breed for them. I could hatch, I guess. Have to see what levels they appear. Anyway, all these thoughts going through my mind. We'll have to see. Now, let me catch up on the... I went off on a massive tangent there, everybody, so thanks for bearing with me. Let me catch up on these messages, Jack. So, Shell, Smash, Focus, Sash. So that 10 times fast. Shell, Smash, Focus, Sash. For your Barbaracle set. Very nice. When you played... Put in good work. Nice. Jack, you talk about back in the day, but you are... you definitely have youth on your side, so you remember that. You remember that. Dusk Form Lycanroc is your number 1 from Alola. You love wolves, definitely high on the chart. Favourite animals. Orange is really good on Lycanroc. And the blue, shiny masterpiece. Yeah, very cool Pokemon. Number 2 would be Rowlet. Adorable, love its little bow tie. It definitely is adorable. So yeah, I'm intrigued to know if you were all doing a Dream Team quest in Generation 2, what would be the Pokemon that you would go for? So on my team as it is, I've got... Water Psychic, Water Dragon, Bug Steel, Ground Ice, and Steel Flying / Psychic Flying. So doubled up on a few types. With Water and with, well, potentially Psychic if I go for Xatu rather than Skarmory. But overall, pretty balanced. Without the Piloswine, we'd have a bit of a weakness to Electric type. And then if I were going for those other 3 I mentioned, Mischievous, Tyranitar, and Houndoom, that would be Ghost, Rock Dark, Fire Dark. I remember on my very first playthrough of Pokemon Silver, beating the Elite Four, I was around Mount Silver, running into the Larvitar. I'd never seen it before, and I was like, what is that? I have to catch that. And then I leveled it up, and it became clear pretty quickly that it would evolve into something really, really good. Because it was taking ages to level up, it was very powerful. It also evolved into Pupitar, of course. And whenever a Pokemon evolves into, well, barring those early root bug Pokemon, if a Pokemon evolves into a cocoon-like form, then you think, okay, this is going to be good. And then after much, much, much more training, finally, because it's like level 55 or something, Pupitar evolved into Tyranitar. And I was so impressed. I just felt so good putting all that time in and being rewarded with such powerful Pokemon that I'd never seen before. It felt like a discovery only I'd made, and I think that's what Pokemon does really well. It makes us feel like we are the only people to be discovering these things, and that's such an important trait in games to make the players feel special. So your Generation 2 Dream Team Quest team would be Meganium, Togetic, Ampharos, Espeon, Azumarill, and if we can dream, then Celebi, very nice, or Ledian. Well, you know I love a Ledian, Ronnie. Unfortunately, it's just not viable enough for this playthrough. Its stats are obviously pretty lacking. Also, it's a bug flying type, but in Generation 2, really not many very powerful bug moves at all, or flying type moves, really. Unfortunately. Excuse me. So yeah, that's why Ledian's not on the Dream Team, but I'll have to shiny hunt it one day in Generation 2. Because it's a Pokemon that's very special to me, and if you want to see me attempt to beat Pokemon Brilliant Diamond with just Ledian, tune in tomorrow, 5:30/5:45 GMT on this very channel. We've beaten 6 gym leaders in that playthrough so far. 6. In the last stream, we beat 2 in one stream. Incredible. Yeah, Ledian's been putting in work. It's got the moveset of Swords Dance, Drain Punch, Aerial Ace, and Giga Drain. We'll see if we have to change that heading into the Elite Four and things, which, you know, ideally I won't be saving in between Elite Four members and all that sort of thing. Nearly reset accidentally, though. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun seeing how much mileage we can get out of this. In my opinion, very underrated Pokemon in Ledian, so do tune into that. I'm loving that playthrough. Make a Dream Team for each generation. Yes, Ronnie, exactly. That's kind of where my questioning was going, actually. Dream Team for each generation. Now, in terms of some of the other Pokemon on your team, Ronnie, Togetic, I realise this is just blue sky thinking. In practice, Togetic, I believe you'd have to hatch that egg over and over again, which could take like 10 minutes. And then have to reset if it's not shiny. So that would be a long hunt. Also, Marill, I think, is very rare until a swarm happens. Which I think you can only unlock swarms after the Elite Four. So that's something to bear in mind. A Dream Team for each generation, indeed. We don't talk about practice. Yeah, exactly, Ronnie. We don't talk about the practicalities. It's called a Dream Team for a reason. We can dream. Yeah. Good question, Ronnie. I guess the first question to everyone who wants to participate in this is, what is your favourite generation of Pokemon? And the second question is, what would your dream team be from that generation? You know that Generation 2 is my favourite, so that's me That's me covered. I also did a Generation 3 Pokemon Sapphire Dream Team quest. Obviously before I was streaming or anything. And I set my sights a little bit more modestly for that. Pokemon that weren't too difficult to find. But I ended up getting them all. I just need to beat the Elite Four on that file now. So that is Sceptile, Exploud, Seviper. That was a cool find. First phase. It's not the most common on that route either. Very pleased with that. Beautifly. Bonnet and Gorobis. Trico, obviously, that's guaranteed. Just reset until the one you choose is shiny. Whismer is 100% in the cave. The, what's it called? That passage between Verdant Turf and the route of Frostborough City. That's 100% encounter. Shuppet is 100% encounter in Mount Pyre. Wurmple is very common. Clample is very common. So it was just a Viper that was that was a rarer find. But still got that. So yeah, for Pokemon Silver, I'm pushing the boat out a little bit more. Wanting to be slightly more ambitious with my finds. But I love a Dream Team quest. There's no way to feel more close to a team. Make it feel more special than by doing a Dream Team quest. Hello there, Heath. And hello, Double T. You've both hopped in at the same time. Well, I hope you're having a fantastic day, both. I hope it's about to get even merrier by being in the stream. We're talking about what our favourite generation of Pokemon is, and then what Dream Team we would go for from that generation. I've decided on my targets for this Dream Team quest. It's Feraligatr, Espeon, Kingdra, Fortress, Piloswine, and then either Skarmory or Xatu. I still need to work that one out, or it depends on how brutal the encounters of Skarmory are, because it's pretty rare. But yeah, how about you both? What's your favourite generation, and then what Dream Team would you go for in that generation? And how have your days been? How's everyone's days been in the stream? I hope you're having a good one. And please do like and subscribe once more if you're enjoying. Dream Team. Per generation, new Soul after your Dream Team 6. Well, that would be intense, Ronnie. That would be a lot. Maybe. Let's just keep it to the Dream Team of 6 for now and see where we go from there. But it's an interesting thing to think about. So, Johto and Sinnoh are tied. Makes sense. They were both the sort of go-to regions in Generation 4. So many amazing memories in both regions across their different incarnations. Good answer, Medler. So, do you Shiny Hunt as well? You're currently just doing a playthrough, wanting to get the rare candies, etc. before the Elite Four. But do you Shiny Hunt too? No worries, Heath, yeah? Take your time. It's got me thinking, actually, yeah. If I... So I know that in a Dream Team quest, you tend to find your targets all on one file, like I've planned to do with this Pokemon Silver. But if I were to... Well, I guess on Pokemon Crystal, because I've started that now. I'm doing a playthrough of that. If I were to Shiny Hunt other targets like Larvitar, Misdreavus, and Houndour, and then trade them over... Yes, it wouldn't be on the same file, but I could trade them over before the Elite Four. Make sure they would obey as well. I could do that. I think it would all depend on what level you can find them at in the wild. I think Larvitar you can find at like level 20 or something, which is pretty low. That's decent. But then Houndoom and Misdreavus, I'm not sure how low a level you can find those. So I'll think about that. TBC. TBC. Otherwise I might know the members. Yeah. No worries. Take your time, Double Team. I know half of them so far. That's right, Ronnie. In my podcast, I talk to my guests about their life stories and the 6 Pokemon that would be on their dream team. Ronnie has decided that with every 50 subscribers on the road to 1,000 subscribers, she will reveal to me a member of her dream team. I can guess, and then she'll tell me if it's right or not. And then tell me the story behind it. So, if you want to continue hanging out off stream, then my Discord community is linked below. It'd be a pleasure to see you in there. Got all my socials linked below as well, so make sure you're following along. You did most of your shiny hunting in high school. Shiny Kingler, Chansey, Horsey, Miltank, Celebi, and Lopunny. Wow, cool. So you do shiny hunt Medler. Very cool targets. Also, 500. 500 resets, everybody. We are a... what? 16th of the way to odds-ish. Not bad. And rest assured, I am hunting, continuing with this hunt off stream as well. So that we have a chance of maybe finishing this Shiny Dream Team quest this year, but definitely strap in. For the Shiny Hunting streams that I do on Wednesdays, it might not be this every week. There might be other things as well, just keep things fresh. We'll just have to see what the progress is like. Time between generations 3 and 6 for you, Double T. Which is really interesting because Medler just talked about Johto and Sinnoh, generations 2 and 4 being tied. And of course, he had the Generation 2 remakes in Generation 4, if that makes sense. And exactly the same with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire in Generation 6. So then, next question, of course, Double T and Medler, is what dream team would you go for in either of those regions? Either of those regions for you both. So Heath, Johto, Regional Dex. Kingdra, Electabuzz, Poliwrath, Executor, Houndoom, Noctowl. You'd have Feraligatr if you didn't already have 2 water types. Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. Kingdra and Poliwrath. That makes sense. But Houndoom you can only get after the Elite Four. That's interesting. So you'd mix in some Generation 1 Pokemon too. I do like Noctowl, gotta say. Love her and Kalos both equally. Gen 3 is childhood, Gen 6 would be the better competitive. I think for the purpose of this, it sounds like Generation 3 is the place that you're doing your Dream Team quest in because it's got more nostalgia. For you, Double T. I know that some people, some of my friends have been thinking about their summer plans already. Their summer holidays and so on. Has anyone in chat been thinking about their summer plans? I have not. Before you ask. I am not thinking that far ahead. We've only just started the year. It almost seems a shame to be thinking about the summer at this point. Gen 3 first game going. Generation 2 for me. Hello, Emerald. Good to see you. How are you doing? Hope you're having a very merry day and hope it's about to get merrier. Thank you for joining for this very special Pokemon Silver Dream Team quest. Bit of shiny hunting. As I say, I do have Pokemon Gold as well, so we could double up on this hunt. If that would turn out to be a good idea. But then again, the whole point of a Dream Team quest, as I've been saying, is that you find all the Pokemon on the one file. But yes, I realise the resets can get quite long in Generation 2. Wow, so that's your summer plans, Ronnie. You're moving in with your boyfriend. That's a big step. Wow. Congratulations. So he's moving more to your area. Very nice. That's exciting. Wow. April doesn't really count as summer, but you and Shelby are getting married April 16th. Wow! How exciting, Heath. April 16th. What a day! What a day. Do you know... I guess you do at this point have some idea as to how the day's going to look. That's 3 months away tomorrow, as I'm sure you're well aware. Crazy. Wow. So yeah, what are your... plans for the day? Very excited for you, Heath. Right, your Gen 4 and your Gen 2 team meddler. Let's go. Empoleon, Roserade, Lopunny, Mismagius, Glaceon, and Mesprit for Sinnoh. That makes sense. What you're saying about Mesprit. Glaceon, that's my favourite EV evolution as well. Overall, of course, in Generation 2, you can't get a Glaceon or Leafeon. I love Mismagius, as you know. I've been talking about Misdreavus. Lopunny, you mentioned too. That makes sense. And then for Johto, Meganium, Umbreon, Lantern, Xatu, Hitmontop, Entei. Ooh, very nice target. So you would go ahead and do the roaming Entei hunt. That's no mean feat. Maybe one day I will shiny hunt a Roma. But it's not a decision to take lightly. Because you have to save before you sort of release them into the wild and then have to run into them. And if it's not shiny, then you have to reset. You can't release it and then try and find the shiny. Or at least you can't release it, save, and then try and find the shiny, because it's determined as soon as it leaves. Well, in this case, the Tin Tower. The burned tower. I guess. Yeah, the burned tower. Your Kalos Dream Team, Double T, Greninja, Bisharp, Goodra, Aegislash, Charizard, and Zygarde. Oof. Zygarde. Wow. I mean, it's a shame that you can't shiny hunt Zygarde in Generation 6, but you certainly can in later generations. Interesting. I can see the logic behind Charizard there. Of course, it gets a Mega Evolution in Generation 6. You're not a fan of Bisharp, Ronnie? Oh, you're just going to legally get married. Fair enough. And then the following week is the reception. I see. Okay. Oh, wow. Your 3-year anniversary on the 16th. Very, very special. Well, fantastic, Heath. Pleased to hear. That's what I was dream. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Double T. Dream team for a reason. Some of the later Pokemon games, you can get the shiny odds to 1 in 512. Which is crazy to think about. It's definitely 1 in 8,192 in these games. But yeah, with Shiny Charm and Sparkling Power and all that sort of thing in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I believe you can get the shiny odds all the way, and Mass Outbreaks, all the way to 1 in 512. You have a history hidden behind a Dream Team member. I see. Well, looking forward to hearing more tales of Bisharp, Ronnie, at the right time. It's the year of the snake, everybody. Chinese New Year of the Snake. Happy Year of the Snake. It's not the new year yet, but it's certainly coming. I don't know what the snake is supposed to represent in terms of the Chinese zodiac. Do we have any snakes in chat? Not literally, obviously, or, you know. I know that snake can be sort of a pejorative term. I don't mean it like that. I mean literally any people born in the year of the snake in the chat. Anniversary is 2 weeks after yours. Oh, cool. Interesting, Ronnie. Also, Heath, the Pokemon that you came up with and put in the Discord community, so fantastic. Grass and Fairy, I think, makes a lot of sense for it. Or at least Fairy was part of it. Have I? Because originally you were thinking Ghost and Fighting, I believe. But then Fighting didn't really make sense. Yeah, incredible drawing. I'd be really proud of that. It's looking good. One of the merry folk loves to remind you about the Bisharp story. Well, I hope that's not too annoying. Ronnie. Is it Jack? Don't know. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realise that you came up with that Pokemon together, Heath, you and Shelby. Very cool. So that's the one you're referring to, right? The orangutan one. What a lovely activity to do together. You were the rooster, Heath. Okay, cool. April 30th, a year earlier. Oops. I've got the up key wired to increase the encounters, of course. But that also can mean that I shift between scenes on the stream. Well, hello, Kendricks. Good to see you. Hope you're having a very... there you go. Hope you're having a very merry day, Kendricks. How are you doing? How's your week been? What's the biggest news to report from everyone's weeks? I guess mine is that I finally filmed my Safari Week video. Started editing it today. I'm looking forward to getting that video done. Getting it out there. And it's going well, thank you, Kendricks. As you can see, we've broken 500 encounters now. So we're getting there. It's just nice to do some retro shiny hunting again. In terms of shiny hunting, in my opinion, you can't beat the 8192 games that Pokemon Silver is. Like Pokemon Silver is. You went with Fairy Grass. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really cool. Is Whimsicott, Cottony and Whimsicott, are they the only Fairy and Grass Pokemon? I think they might be. Am I forgetting any? Oh, you've got Tapu Bulu, I guess. Anything else? Seems like Flabebe should be, but it's not. Just lives on a flower. And you're the year of the rat, Rani. I remember, don't know if anyone else in chat will remember this, but back in the day, I don't know if anyone remembers Beanie Babies, but they released the Zodiac animals as Beanie Babies. They were such a cool set. I at one point wanted to collect them all, see if I could. Which would be no mean feat, but it would be a cool little collection. They're really lovely designs. Earlier at work for an orangutan Pokemon, you came up with some stuff. You came up with the colours, helped silent typing. Primary Fairy, secondary Grass. Cool. Orangutan Pokemon. Oranguru. Is there another orangutan specific Pokemon? But yeah, really cool, Heath. Exhausting week so far. Sorry to hear that, Kendricks, but I hope it's exhausting in a good way. I hope it's exhausting in a fulfilling way. You will be pleased to know, Kendricks, that of course Kingdra is going to be on this dream team. Stay hydrated, everybody. Stay hydrated. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Kendricks. Shiny hunting and chill, indeed. Did you do any shiny hunting yourself, Kendricks? And anyone else in chat? Just figuring out what the stats would be, Heath. Interesting. Well, do tell, do tell. Your home dream team, Double T. Here we go. I appreciate how long you took to think about that. I think that's yeah, a lot of special memories to weigh up. So I'm looking forward to this. Sceptile, Pelipper, Aggron, Milotic, Salamence, Deoxys. Oof. Very cool. Very cool, Double T. You see, yeah, Sceptile was also on mine. Pelipper, very fun choice. Aggron. Great example of a turquoise shiny Aggron, and I love turquoise shinies. Possibly my favourite colour of shiny. Also, turquoise is one of my favourite colours, so that makes sense. Milotic, yeah, classic. Such a rarity. And obviously that's what makes it so special. Salamence, very cool. Very cool. I think I am more of a Salamence person than a... I'm just refocusing the camera there on the screens. Salamence person than a Metagross person. Of course, Generation 3, the only one to introduce two powerhouse Pokemon in one generation. I do love a dragon type. Did I miss increasing the encounters? I might have done. Not sure. Anyway. That's a really cool Dream Team Double T. And Deoxys as well, of course. Yeah, such a mystical, hard Pokemon to come by. Love to hear that. So thank you for sharing, Double T. Very, really cool, really cool. For anyone just tuning in, and please do like and subscribe, by the way, if you're enjoying everyone, once more. We're talking about what our favourite generations of Pokemon are, and then what Dream Team we would go for in those generations. So, I'm doing my Pokemon Silver Generation 2 Dream Team quest. How about everyone else? I love to hear the memories behind Pokemon, which, of course, is such a crucial component of my podcast. Chazingdra chats, taking a stroll through the life stories of people in the Pokemon community, discovering the 6 Pokemon on their Dream Team along the way. I like to get to know people, and the Pokemon community, of course, is all about people. So, if anyone wants to chuck that information, their own dream teams and favourite generations in, would be fascinated to read. So, you had 2 Beanie Babies, a bull and a seahorse. Well, I also had a seahorse, as I was saying, Heath. I actually also had a bull. Was the bull red by any chance? And was the seahorse neon colours? Because I have those 2. Definitely have those 2. Beanie Babies might go some way to explaining my love for Pokemon, actually. And certainly plushies. I loved collecting the little animals. I love animals. Yeah, I believe the bull Beanie Baby, the ones I was talking about, Heath, the red bull Beanie Baby that I had was Snort. And the fluorescent seahorse is called Neon, appropriately. So, yeah. Darmanitan by name, more of a... Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. In terms of orangutan Pokemon, Heath. Yeah, I guess it is more of a gorilla. Love me a good team with Kendra. Oh, I know you do, Kendricks. I know you do. You and I both. Kingdra's biggest fans. It might be that I, at some point, sort of evolved the Shiny Hunting Wednesday streams to have multiple quests going on at the same time. Like this silver one at the same time as, you know, maybe some kind of question Generation 3 and other 1 in 8,192 games. Just to improve our chances of finding something in any given stream. So, you don't really do Shiny Hunting Kendricks. You can cancel them by accident. Shiny Squirtle you hatched on X. Oh my goodness, wow. Was that when you were Shiny Hunting Kendricks, or was that random? Oh, I see, yeah, so it was... No, so it was lucky accident. Trying to get a 5IV1. Shiny was nice coincidence. Wow. Really cool. Yeah. Always lovely to be taken by surprise like that. Did the Shiny have good stats that you hatched? I guess it would have been if you were breeding on some stats. Okay. So those are pretty good stats there, Heath. Interesting, and bulkier than it is offensive and pretty slow. Okay. I like that. I like that. So how come you're going with that stat spread, Heath? Aggron would have to be shiny as well. Oh yeah, of course. I kind of talk about Dream Team quests in terms of shinies, but I realise that not every Dream Team has to be shiny. Certainly in the Shiny Hunting community, a Dream Team quest is going for a team of shinies. Those exact Beanie Babies. Oh, cool. There you go, Heath. Look at that. That's a connection I bet no one was expecting us to make tonight. We had the same Beanie Babies. Snort and Neon. Don't know if you have a Beanie Baby. Yeah, do look it up, Ronnie. Beanie Babies are great. These days, they've gone a bit too far into the very wide eyes, strange proportions, you know, big head, small limbs and all of that. Have a random horn, make things more like a unicorn, that sort of thing. Which, obviously, I'm less of a fan of. The more sort of understated, just this is an animal, this is a cuddly animal, was that was definitely more my thing. Oh my goodness, Snort's estimated value is $6,000. Wow. I've got quite a few Beanie Babies. I should take a look. The thing is, I bet that includes, you know, having the tag still on and stuff like that. So that's something to consider. It did have good stats. Oh, right, cool. You're so proud of it. That's good to hear, Kendrick. I bet you were. Bet you were. Shiny with good stats. I mean, the dream. When I was shiny hunting for a 6 perfect IV Ledibur for my soloing Brilliant Diamond with Ledian Quest, I wondered if I would hatch a shiny, and it would have had good stats because they did a Ditto Terra Raid event at some point in Scarlet and Violet. There was a very, very small chance of getting a Ditto with 6 perfect stats, which I did. So I've been hatching babies using Perfecto. That's what I nicknamed that Ditto, very imaginatively. And so, yeah, if I had hatched a shiny Ledibur, then it would have been guaranteed to have good stats, but I did not. But I did get a 6 IV Ledibur, which is the one doing the playthrough right now. The one you have in mind isn't a Beanie Baby running, I see. Yeah, do. I'd be interested to hear. Interested to hear. Anyone else remember Beanie Babies in chat? And welcome in if you're just joining. Very chill shiny hunting stream on this Pokemon Silver Dream Team quest here. Do like and subscribe if you're enjoying. And latest episode of my podcast, Chazingdra Chats, came out today. Wigglia, Pokemon VGC competitor, cosplayer, influencer, content creator, all of that. Really interesting chat with Wigglia, so make sure you check that out. That's on YouTube, and it's on the audio apps as well, of course. And next week, Rosemary Kelly, Necra. I saw you give a shout out to that, Ronnie, in the Discord. Yes! The one and only. Someone who commentates many, many esports. I had a really interesting chat with Rosemary. We recorded that just before Christmas. Or, actually, no. Beginning of December. So, strange to think back on that. But yeah, that will be coming out next week. Rank seems so magical to you. They definitely are magical. I know what you mean. They have that serenity about them. Totally get what you mean. Went with special attacker, yeah. Non-aggressive. Yeah. That makes sense. I remember you sharing links to protect orangutans, which I'm really grateful for, Heath. We've got to do what we can. So many species that we need to protect. Pretty slow-moving apes. Fair enough. Thank you for explaining that, Heath. Very interesting. There we go. Oh, your Snort Bull Beanie Baby definitely had the tag still on it. Hopefully you can find it, Heath, because that would be... Oops. That's the first time on stream that I've accidentally pressed A too many times. We've had to see this dialogue that we don't need to see. So we'll take that as a win. Yeah, that would be an amazing thing if you could find the Beanie Baby again. Hello, Riley. You're jamming some Heart Gold, Starter Hunt, and your ongoing Ruby Zangoose. Nice, Riley. Very nice. Good luck for that, Zangoose. My goodness, it's been a long time coming. Hope it shines for you soon, Riley. And good to see you as always. Also, some Heart Gold Starter Hunt. So you're going for one in particular? Are you starting off a quest? Or are you just seeing what shines? Very nice. If you are. I also have a lot of fun doing that sometimes. Just start up a Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Just gone for the unnecessary dialogue again. Where you can see them shining on screen. You're seeing 3 at once. Very quick resets. See what shines. Love that, Riley. I was kind of casually doing that on... it was like June last year. I wanted to do some shiny hunting and happened to come across a shiny Totodile in the Heart Gold Professor Elm's lab. While watching Kyle Quick Panic's Heart Gold Dream Team Quest video. Well, Shiny Badge Quest video, actually, I think. And I thought, well, this is fate. Because he also had Shiny for Alligator on that team. The world's way of telling me that I should do a Shiny Badge Quest on Heart Gold. So I am. But I'm keeping all the finds and everything secret. And we'll release a video at some point showing what I found. Having a fun time with that little secret quest. All right. So, if you could find it and sell it, yeah. That'd be amazing, Heath. Wow. Yeah, I still have loads and loads of Beanie Babies from childhood, so yeah, I should go through those actually. Doing another ribbon run with Abra from the Leaf Green Game Corner. Ooh, another female. I like to use them in a playthrough. You're gonna transfer the Abra up into a full shiny Heart Gold run. Wow. Very cool. So you have shiny Abra in Leaf Green, Riley. That is very cool if so. Had a few female Totodiles in a row there. Very nice, Riley. Nuzleaf from your Zangoose phase. Taylor from your Nincada phase. Random shiny Machop. Oh, cool. That's so interesting. You found a random shiny Machop, Riley. And that sounds like a really cool quest. A really cool way of using shiny Pokemon that you phased on so they don't sort of go to waste or just go into the box forever. Pokemon Shining Pearl, before I'd attempted the first gym leader, I was just leveling up in that patch of grass just north of Auburn City. Found a random shiny Machop. Just like you. So cool. So obviously then that Machop stayed on the team. Had Xenar, the Machamp, on that playthrough team. So exciting. Which game did you find your Machop in? I have 2 Pokemon plushes for over 18 years now, Ronnie. Wow, which plushes are those? I feel like the Pokemon plush boom, so to speak, definitely happened more recently than 18 years ago. So yeah, you must have some original ones. I wonder how much those are worth now, actually, Ronnie. Interesting. Brought the third lots later, fair enough. A Mudkip plush from the Ruby Sapphire era. Wow, it's got a dog collar on it. That's so cute, Heath. That's so cute. Very cool. I remember when Ruby and Sapphire came out. A friend of mine let me borrow their copy of Ruby and do a playthrough on it, which was so kind of them. I think they completed it, so I didn't mind if I started a new game. So I played through that for, like, I don't know. I don't know how long it would have taken me to beat that, but 4 weeks maybe, something like that. Had a lot of fun. If I'd had the choice, then I would have chosen Sapphire. But of course, you know, if he's lending me a game, then I will gladly take that kind offer. Suffering was anxious for 80,000 encounters. Wow. Figured you need some quick, shiny fun. Yeah, fair enough, Riley. Fair enough. Leaf Green, super fast, and the Heart Gold Soul Silver Starters also quick. Yeah, of course. Shiny fixing to get you through. Yeah, fair enough, Riley. There might be some hunts to keep me occupied while this Dream Team quest goes on as well. Because it could be a long one, just as you say. Just had one of those moments. Isn't it mad that this Game Boy Advance SP, for example, that I've had since childhood, played on when I was much younger, thoroughly enjoyed the games I played on it. It's now a thing for people to point a camera at it and have people watch them play. And this cartridge of Soul Silver I've had since childhood as well. The value in these things now that there just wasn't back then. Just having one of those might sound like an old person thing to say, but oops. Truly mind-blowing when you think about it. Anyway. Yeah, do post a picture later, Ronnie. I'm excited to see those plushies. Exactly, Kendra. It's crazy to think those games are over 20 years old. I totally agree. Totally agree. For Ruby Sapphire and even more for Red and Blue and Gold and Silver. Yeah. So far in Generation 3, you found all but 2 of your shinies in the same Ruby game. Wow. Doing your first ever Dream Team question. What a blessed file. Leaf Green Abra and Colosseum Sneasel. I imagine if there was some discovery years down the line that certain cartridges have more shiny luck. Shinies are more likely than others. I know that wouldn't happen, but it's interesting to think about. Oh, cool. Well, that's a very kind gift from your friend, Ronnie. Don't you dare say it, Riley. Yeah. I don't mean to jinx you. Don't mean to jinx that game. Sorry if I have. Oops. I'm sure it will continue to yield I should just stop talking, shouldn't I? I should stop. Stop tempting fate. I've had nightmares about that really just not being coded to ever get shiny Zangoose. Yeah. No doubt. We all reach that point, don't we, at some point of... are there shinies actually programmed in this game? That's actually part of the script that I've written for my Safari Week video from last year, going 50,000 encounters, more than 50,000 encounters for a shiny I then fled from. Yep. But it's going to feel so good when you get it. And Zangoose is such a beautiful shiny. Really. I've got my shiny as a Viper, and then they can meet up and be friends. They would be the opposite of friends, of course, because Zangoose and Viper have an ongoing feud. But you know what I mean. When that hurts to see. Yeah, Riley, yeah. But Safari Week video, I'm excited for. Filmed it on Sunday, was working on the edit today, and I've been working on the script for, well, when I've had time, sort of tail end of last year. So hopefully I'll be able to get that out relatively soon. I just don't know how soon that will be, to be honest. I don't know how long. It's the first time I've edited a sort of video essay sort of thing like that. So, yeah, I'll have to see. Hopefully once I've done it, though, there'll be more content like that coming sooner and faster. Because, you know, I want to make a video about my teal mask, shiny quest, the shiny hunting followed by competitive battling that Kyle Quick Panic and I did. I say Quick Panic as if it's his surname, but you know what I mean, his online name. In October last year. Yeah, a few videos I'd like to make. Those two, the teal mask and the shiny hunting turning into competitive battling, will be much shorter and a much lighter workload than the Safari Week video. I sort of see the Safari Week video as a... It also talks a lot about the lore behind the channel, stuff that was created through doing the Safari skits, reflections of a first-time streamer, that sort of thing. So it's, yeah. It's about, as with any shiny hunting video, it's about so much more than just the shinies. So I'm excited for it. Excited to create some new content, because that's why I went into content creation in the first place, to do scripted stuff, because I enjoy writing so much. That's why I've slightly changed my sort of angle that my camera is looking at me. Some of you might have been able to tell. I need to fill out that shelf back there of Pokémon. So there isn't a gap in the middle. The idea was that my head would be there. But the arm of this sofa is, well, where I am now. So, and just, you know, when you're leaning over, you need to lean on something. So not to hurt your back too much. But anyway, that's why I've also got Chansey there right now. Chansey, of course, also providing the shiny luck, let's hope. Might be able to see Kingdra lurking there as well next to Chansey. Your Ruby Dream Team quest. All been recorded, and we've also been slowly working on scripts. Cool, Riley. Very nice. I think I remember you saying that. Yeah, very much looking forward to seeing a finished video, because you will get that Zangoose soon. You will. Let's whip out the old Sony Vegas. Get the editing brain working again. Oh, what? So you used to do more editing, did you? Than you do now. Very exciting. Keen for the big Safari Week video. Thanks so much, Riley. I hope everyone enjoys. Imagine if I get a shiny Kingdra. Yeah, Kendricks, well. It is on the Dream Team Quest team, as I said. So it will be a target. I will, in fact, get a shiny Kingdra at some point. For that reason. Shiny Generation 2 Kingdra, the dream. Literally the dream for me. I believe it's also a surfing encounter rather than fishing in the Whirl Islands, so... that's going to save some time too. Also, if there were Met locations in this game, and I realise I can just do this in Heart Gold Soul Silver to have Met locations. Shiny aren't in there. But Shiny Horsey with the Met location of the Whirl Islands, I mean, come on. That is so cool. Iconic Generation 2 location. Shiny version of your favourite Pokemon. Chef's kiss. It's a good question, actually. The targets I have so far, the flow of them. It will mean that Totodile will be our only team member for the first 2 gyms, and then we can get Pineco. And then the next one we can get is Eevee, so fairly shortly after that. So we'd have to do Whitney with just Totodile and Pineco. And then we can go for Eevee. It's going to stay in Eevee for a while, because it will take a while to evolve it into Espeon. But we want to evolve it as soon as we can, so it can learn as many Psychic-type moves as it can. Next up, so the remaining members would be... Kingdra, Piloswine, and then Skarmory or Xatu. So, Horsey we get in the Whirl Island, so we need Whirlpool for that, and I think that is, have to beat Price, I believe, the 7th gym leader, so that is actually a bit later on. We can get Horsey. But then, of course, you can only get the Dragon Scale from Mount Mortar, and actually, I think you need Waterfall for that. So we wouldn't be able to have Kingdra until after Claire. It's good to know. Piloswine Ice Path, so that's after the 7th gym. And then, depending on whether I go for Xatu or Skarmory, we could get Xatu as soon as I can surf. That's how I access that patch of grass in the Ruins of Alph. Skarmory... we could go for straight after Swinub, actually. By the way, that's a fairly steady flow of targets. The problem is sometimes with Dream Team quests, you have to just have your first partner for... I don't know, like the first 4 badges or something. And then, you know, you can suddenly add 2 more members to your team and so on. So I'm glad that it's a steady flow of targets on this Dream Team quest. Now, this is something I never expected to read from you in chat, Heath. I'm pretty amped that Nottingham Forest is 2nd in the Premier League right now. That's very cool that you follow the... English football like that, Heath. Why Nottingham Forest? Why is that your team of choice? You might have explained to me before, and I apologise if you have. Yeah, fascinating. As a Brit, I'm not so into football, actually, but I guess that makes sense. I think when you're closer to these things, they are less exciting, less appealing. Who's the team for Silver, Riley? Yeah, well, there you go. It's currently Feraligatr, Espeon, Kingdra, Fortress, Piloswine, and then either Xatu or Skarmory. But the problem with Skarmory is that it's a 5% encounter. You can do a repel trick, but then you're encountering 5% of the time, which is minimal. I think you would double that to 10% with the Pokemarch playing on the radio. But that's still, it could be pretty brutal. So I'll have to see how that feels, and if not, then I'll go for Xatu. But I kind of like Skarmory and Xatu pretty equally, to be honest, so I wouldn't mind too much. It's not like Xatu's the last resort. I would take either Skarmory or Xatu. But then I was thinking, Riley, that There are a few Pokemon that you can obviously only get... A few Johto Pokemon that you can obviously only get after the Elite Four in Kanto. And in my case, I think those would be Misdreavus, Tyranitar, and Houndoom. But what I could do is Shiny Hunt them, beat the Elite Four on Crystal, where I'm just doing a standard playthrough, Shiny Hunt them there, and then trade them over to the Silver Dream Team quest file, and play through the game with them. Drawback of that is that Dream Team quests are all about finding your Pokemon on the one file, of course. But also, you know, it's called a Dream Team quest. It's a Pokemon you'd ideally have on your team. I love Forretress, I love Piloswine, I love Skarmory and Xatu. And there is something special about only being able to catch the Pokemon that you physically can as you play through rather than trading things over. But those other three, Misdreavus, Tyranitar, Houndoom, I like more than the ones I've mentioned. The Piloswine, Skarmory, Xatu, and Forretress. So yeah, I'll be thinking about that. I also might double up on this. I might I have a Pokemon Gold version, so I could double up on this hunt. And just all hunts going forward, but not Skarmory because Skarmory is a Silver exclusive. Espeon is one of your favourites as well, Kendricks. Nice. I'm glad you're feeling the team. Yeah, I'm more of an Espeon person than an Umbreon person. And yeah, again, I think it's because I just had such fond memories of my Eevee evolving into an Espeon when I was younger. I love Espeon's design. So good to know, Kendricks. So another stream you watch supports Forest, I see. Got you into Premier League. Oh, nice. Okay. Diehard fan for your local team, Chattanooga FC. Yeah. That is a word I've heard before, Heath. What a fun name. For that football club. As long as Liverpool and Forest stay in first and second, you can't lose. Like that thinking, Heath. There's also an... So, I started doing this hunt more than a year ago now for Shiny Totodile. Before I streamed, before I even knew I would start streaming. And then when I started doing streaming and content stuff, I thought, okay, well, let me put that on pause so that I can save it as a quest to do on stream. So, I need to remind myself, but I have done a certain number of encounters already on this quest. So I now don't know whether to count the combined total or start afresh with what I've been hunting on stream, if that makes sense. Include the resets I'd done more than a year ago, or just start afresh with what I've done on stream since starting this quest last week. Often it's backloaded for the hunt. So yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Riley. It was the opposite. You went for Torchic and Incarnate for your first gym, did the first 3 gyms. Now you've hunted Swablu and Aftergoose. Then you'll have no more members until after the 7th gym. So who will be your final 2 Dream Team members, Riley? I'm excited. I'm not sure I've asked you that before. Torchic and Incarnate. So an Incarnate for Ninjask as opposed to Shedinja, or both, or Shedinja. The Nincada hunt would be really fun. Get a shiny Ninjask and Shedinja. 2 shinies for the price of 1. Swablu, Zangoose. Yeah. Excited to hear. Huntail and Registeel. Ooh. Cool. Yeah, it's an interesting question as well, isn't it? Of whether to include legendaries on a Dream Team quest. Obviously, it's totally up to each individual if they want to. And maybe I would at some point. I will be shiny hunting Lugia on this file. In Soul Silver, you have to encounter Lugia before the Elite Four. In Silver, I don't believe you do. You don't even have to encounter Lugia at all. But maybe as the sort of victory after beating the game, after beating Red or something, then I will Shiny Hunt Lugia, but I cannot pass up the opportunity to Shiny Hunt Lugia on Pokemon Silver. Shedinja, Riley, love that. Shedinja, what a Pokemon. Wonder Guard, meaning it can only take damage from attacks that are super effective against it. But then it could also be knocked out by something like Hail or Sandstorm. Chip damage. Or if it burned, I guess. Etc. I do not miss the days of Shedinja being in Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive Pokemon Generation 8. Goodness. So tricky. Oops. Didn't mean to add an encounter there. Note to self. Huntail and Registeel, yeah. I had Gorobis in my Sapphire Dream Team quest, Riley. So cool that you have Huntail. And also I had Seviper and you have Zangoose. So we complete each other that way as well. Registeel's a really cool shiny. Oh, I do want to shiny hunt the Regis at some point. They are probably my favourite legendary trio. I wasn't so sure about them at first, but then the hoops that you have to jump through to unlock them with the Braille, it feels so epic and mysterious, proper legendary stuff. Yeah, I think the Regis are my favourite legendary trio now. How about everyone else? What's your favourite legendary trio? And welcome in if you're just joining. We won't be streaming for too much longer, everybody. We might reach 600 and leave it there. But appreciate you stopping by. Please do like and subscribe. Would mean a huge amount and always goes a long way. It always does. I know everyone says it, but it's true. People not in the US know about them mainly because of the Looney Tunes episode. Yeah. I know that song, the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Yeah. Heath. Thank you for giving me a little lesson in American culture, Heath. Hello, Ben. You did make it just in time. Still no shiny. That's right, Ben, but we can't be too disappointed. Odds are 1 in 8,192, Ben. And we are approaching 600 resets. So, could have a long hunt ahead of us, or it could be this very attempt that it shines. There's no guarantees. Tennessee's 4th most populated city. Interesting, Heath. You have all the facts at your fingertips, don't you? Very cool. Shedinja, yeah. Kendricks, yeah. Whew. I remember, actually, Lille 2022 regionals. My last round of the day, my opponent had a Shedinja. And it got to an end game, and I think it was game 3. Yeah, it was game 3, where I locked in the forfeit. I had no moves that could hit this Shedinja, and then I thought, oh no. Because I did have something like Max Hailstorm or something like that. So something that would set up the weather that could deal chip damage and therefore knock out the Shedinja, and then I would have won the battle. After I'd forfeited, I realised this and thought, oh no, have I thrown in the towel too early? Could I have won that? But then he told me that the Shedinja actually had safety goggles. Which made me breathe a sigh of relief. Wow. Wonder Guard only takes damage from super effective moves. That will be Fire, Rock, Flying, Dark, and Ghost. Which, Series 12, Sword and Shield. Quite a few Pokemon didn't have access to those moves, or you'd never run them because they weren't useful in any other scenario. Anyway, good evening to you, Jeroen. Doing very well, thank you, Jeroen. These encounters are climbing ever upwards. Every reset we do, we're getting closer to the shiny. That is what we have to tell ourselves. So yeah, doing very well. I was doing some editing of my Safari Week video today. How about you, Jerome? How's your day going? Any more cooking classes recently? Hope they're going well. Have a real soft spot for Generation 7 and 4 Box Art Legends. First 2 games you ever played and got hooked from them. I see. Lunala, Solgaleo, Dialga Palkia, and of course Giratina. Yeah, Ben, that makes sense. I guess I mean though in terms of legendary trios, so like the birds, the beasts, the Reggies. Original shiny odds. You don't miss them, Ben? I don't know. I think they I think there's something about them. I think it makes it so much more special that you have to work harder for them. And, you know, as someone who's played Pokemon since Generation 2, really. Well, really since Generation 1, actually. But really into it since Generation 2. The older games will always have a special place in my heart. Oh my goodness! Happy birthday, Jeroen! Wow, yeah, thank you for saying that, Ronnie. Did not realise. Happy birthday, Jeroen. Hope you're having a fantastic day. You made steak and roasted potato with bean veggie salad yesterday in class. Lovely! What a way to celebrate your birthday eve. That sounds fantastic. Well, I hope you're having a fantastic day, Jeroen. That's brilliant. Do you have any plans to celebrate your birthday? Maybe at the weekend or tonight? Appreciate you stopping by on your birthday. That's incredibly kind of you. If only Corsola Wonder God. Haha. Only takes super effective damage. Well, why did you say Corsair in particular? Is it one of your favourites, Kendricks? Actually, no, it's Water and Ground that would only take super effective damage from grass, isn't it? Something like Quagsire. Or like Scizor or Fortress with fire. No, that'd be a little bit too busted. You're going to head back home? I probably won't still be streaming when you're back. I will be finishing fairly shortly, Ronnie. But thanks so much for hanging out. Always a pleasure to see you. Have a merry rest of your evening. You know, quite a bit out Tennessee. Been here for 31.5 years. Well, yeah, well, fair enough, Heath. But it's good that you know that. Just because you've lived there doesn't necessarily mean that you would know the facts. So yeah, good for you for keeping up with them. Like and subscribe, everybody. Thank you very much. En route to 650 subscribers. I had the idea recently. I launched my channel mid-April 2024. If I could reach 1,000 subscribers by mid-April this year, so 1 year later, that would be incredible. That is my aim. So, any help towards that, hugely, hugely appreciated. Thank you, everyone. And channel membership stuff incoming. I've got so many things to juggle right now. But channel memberships definitely on my mind too. So look forward to those soon. Well, yeah. And the perks that they will bring. So, your favourite legendary trio, probably the Beasts. Heath, they're incredibly cool. That's why Registeel's on the team for the Ruby Battle Tower. Team of Registeel, Shedinja's Angus. Wow, you've really thought this through, Riley. Love to hear that. That's a fantastic idea. Yeah, I should do that, actually. I should consider a dream team and then its viability in the Battle Tower, too. Very cool. Thank you for the birthday wishes for Jeroen, everybody. Nah. Teach me about Tennessee. Yeah, please do, Heath. All fact. Very, very welcome. I love a bit of trivia. Trivia is so underrated. It's so much more than just, as someone call it, pointless facts. Trivia provides so much soul. I think we were saying this on a stream recently. There's so much soul in the tiny details. Keeps things exciting. You plan to go to a restaurant with your family later in the month. Very nice, Sharon. Well, hope you have a wonderful trip for that. Do you know where you would go to eat? Hello to the merriest of men. Thank you so much, Luke, for that moniker. How are you doing? Hope you're having a merry day. Hope it's about to get merrier. How's your week going, Luke? What's new with you? Hope you're doing very well. And hello to you as well, Rich. Seems like like buses. Often, a couple of people hop into the chat at once. Crying is coming along nicely, nearing that 600. Thank you so much, Rich. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for keeping tabs on the quest. Yeah. Every reset brings us closer. To the shiny. How are you doing, Rich? How's your week going? Merits of Chaz, exactly, Luke. Hello, Mystic. That's a really good question. What number do I think I'm going to get the shiny? And thank you so much for hopping into the chat. Always good to see a new name in the chat. Hope you enjoy. And by the way, everyone, got my Discord community linked below. Please do hop in there. Come and join Chazingdra's Chocolate Factory. Come and join the merry folk. Be a pleasure to hang out off stream, share our love for all the treats the Pokemon video games have to offer. Also got my podcast, Chazingdra Chats, taking a stroll through the life stories of people in the Pokemon community, discovering the 6 Pokemon on their dream team along the way. It's always an illuminating time. Today's episode featuring Wigglia has come out. Had a really fascinating chat with her. She is a Pokemon VGC competitor, cosplayer, influencer, content creator, all of that. So enjoy that. You can support me as well. I've got my Patreon linked below too. Plenty more content on the channel. I'm working on my Safari Week video. Hope you're all excited for that. I stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Tomorrow, 5:30/5:45 GMT. Continuation of my... or actually, it'll be 6 tomorrow. It'll be 6 GMT tomorrow. Continuation of my soloing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond with a Ledian run, which I'm having a blast doing. We only have 2 gym leaders left. Can you believe it? Just Ledian. Incredible. But thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. I won't be streaming for too much longer. We'll reach 600 and then we'll call it a day there. So, Mystic, to answer your question, that's a very long-winded way of saying, when am I going to get the shiny? I'm going to pluck a number out of thin air. 3,854. I realise that 3 of those numbers are on my screen right now, so maybe I was a little bit influenced by that. But, yeah, I'm feeling 3,000s at least. 3,854, I reckon, is when I'm getting the shiny. What number do you reckon I'm getting? What number do you reckon I'm getting the shiny, Mystic? DTQ doesn't end until you get the Battle Tower ribbons on those boys. Oh, wow. Okay. Good for you. That is a really cool idea, Riley. Really cool. So when did you start the Dream Team quest as a whole? Riley. $80,000 today. Oh, Riley. Wow. Maybe it'll happen today, though. It could be the very next encounter. The very next one. So are you hunting on a single copy of Pokemon Ruby? Riley. Still deciding where you're going out for dinner. Fair enough, Jerome. I'm sure you'll make the right choice for your birthday. It's been a slow one. First week back at work. Looking forward to Birmingham. Yes! And looking forward to seeing you there, Luke. Bring your old consoles, bring Generations 2 to 5 Pokemon games, and let's shiny hunt. Let's do the 8192 shiny challenge. See how many we can find in an hour. Yes, anyone in the stream who's attending Birmingham Regionals this weekend, I will see you there, and we will do a shiny challenge inspired by Nora in the Future and Quick Panic. How many shinies can we find in the 1 in 8192 shiny odds games in an hour? Altogether, you can bring multiple consoles, as many as you want. The more the Merriman. There you go. Very much looking forward to that. Feels good to be spreading the good word of shiny hunting here in the EU region. I think it's such a cool idea that Nora in the Future and Nora in the Future had for those shiny hunting events at regionals. It'll be good as well to get to know who's into shiny hunting amongst the VGC community in the EU. Just beat Final Fantasy 1. Congratulations, Luke. Is it the first time you played it, or are you playing again for nostalgia? You're pretty good, Rich. Boiler isn't currently working. Oh, no. That is rough. Oh, dear. Be on that healthy and happy. Always a pleasure to stop by. Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Rich. Always a pleasure to see you. Hope you're having a merry day. Yeah, that is rough, though. I hope your boiler can be mended soon. Is someone on the way? I mean, not right now, obviously, but someone on the way to fix it in the near future? Hope so. Having said that, it's been warmer the past couple of days, which is encouraging. First time playing, really enjoyed it. Nice. Nice, Luke. Yeah, a classic series, Final Fantasy. I've never played. A friend of mine at school was really into Final Fantasy. But yeah, I never played it. Quest started April 2023. Wow. Wow, Riley. You got 3 shiny pooches before your Torchic. Oh, that was a sign. How many total encounters for the Torchic, or how many total resets for the Torchic? Coming up to the 2-year mark of this quest, Riley. I will place a bet that Zangoose shines before you reach the 2-year mark. So before early April 2023, that Zangoose will shine. Or around then. I reckon. I've got a feeling. Yeah, I need to decide whether shiny hunt some of the targets on this Dream Team quest on a different file in Kanto and then trade them over so I have a chance of using them on the playthrough. Those being Larvitar, Mischievous, and Houndour, because it'd be very cool to have the opportunity to use those heading into the Elite Four. And incidentally, everybody, I certainly will be continuing, and I have been continuing with this hunt off stream, because I realise that single system, and they're not the quickest resets, especially for the starter. When we're doing random encounters, they are actually pretty fast in Gold and Silver, so that's exciting. But for now, yeah, relatively slow. When we are doing random encounter hunts, that number will climb much faster. But then again, thinking about it, the next target will probably be Pineco, which is Headbutt. Quicker than resets, but still not the fastest. Eevee is resets. Horsey, I think, is just surfing, so that is random encounters. Swinub is encounters, and Skarmory is encounters, / Natu. But again, the encounters for Skarmory are pretty slow. But yeah, we will have some faster targets. Love a Dream Team quest. So special. Now, boiler's been off since Saturday. Wow. Because we have had some very chilly days recently, Rich. I hope you've been okay. Just in case of identifying the problem, even the manufacturers are unsure. Wow, trial and error. Hoping tomorrow's the day. Wow, Rich. Goodness, I really hope there's a quick fix. That's no fun at all. I hope for your sake as well that tomorrow's the day. 3,235 total resets for Torchic, 3 pooches. Wow, that's not many. We've got 4 shinies within 3,235. Wow. That's fascinating, Riley. Yeah, I'm saying after Mystic Wondered, I'm saying that 3,854 is when we find Totodile. It's a good idea to place your bets. Feel free to place your bets, everyone else in chat as well. What number of resets until we find this shiny Totodile? The sound of my plans for Birmingham sounds great fun. I'm glad, Rich. I'm glad. Will you be in Birmingham or not? We'll miss you if you're not there. But I'm glad that appeals to you. So, we're going to reach 600, and then we're going to leave it there. We could still get the shiny in the next few encounters. Who knows? Who knows? But it is early days. 1 in 8,192, the shiny odds here. Hope we're all having a very merry evening. What are we up to today or this evening, if you are somewhere where it is the evening like the UK right now? The universe will have mercy on me after the safari punishment. Thank you, Riley. We'll have to see. You're guessing 2,487. Okay. We're all saying fairly low so far. Which would be delightful. Get the quest off to a swift start. But who knows? 2,487, okay. You won't be in Birmingham, Rich. Would have been nice, but you couldn't make it work this weekend. Fair enough. Hopefully get to another regional in the future. Yeah. What would have been the last regional that you went to, Rich? %100 under odds. Wow, okay. Thank you for that confidence, Riley. Hugely appreciated. Okay, we're approaching the last 5 encounters of, or resets of today's stream. Shiny Hills in Generation 2, 1 in 8,192, Jerome, yeah. Pretty steep. Pretty steep. The shiny sparkles in this game, though. Ah! Unmatched. And the way the screen goes negative at that moment. I found a random shiny Kakuna in Generation 2 when I was younger in Pokemon Silver in this very cartridge. I had encountered the Red Gyarados, so I knew what a shiny was, but I didn't know that every single Pokemon had a shiny form. I just thought, you know, the Gyarados was a special case. Sends a shiver down my spine, those sparkles. Incredible. Current phase for Zangoose. Phase 11, 14,107. Will you go double odds this phase? I hate to say it, Riley, but I have a feeling you will. I'm hoping that I'm just jinxing it, and so you won't. But it'll be the Zangoose. You will go more than 2 times over odds, but it'll be the Zangoose. James Craig! Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm so pleased you enjoy the commentary. You've made my day, James. That's very kind of you indeed. Hope you're having a merry day. It's fantastic to see you in the chat. Please do hop into my Discord community if you like. It's linked below. I'm pleased to enjoy the commentary. What's your favourite Pokemon, James? Really appreciate you stopping by. What a lovely comment. You've never been to a regional. Rich, you just meant another in terms of another time. It's on your... Oh, no! Uh-oh. Oh, dear. My Game Boy ran out of battery. I was not keeping an eye on the battery. Fortunately, I have the charger right here. But what if that was the shiny? Uh-oh. Hang on a sec. I gotta turn it on at the wall, everybody. The 2 encounter cliffhanger. Jaron, exactly, yeah. Oh, goodness. I really hope that wasn't the shiny. Obviously. You know what? I was checking the battery here and there as well. But clearly I hadn't for a while. How silly. Time flies when you're talking to chat, right? We'll never know if that one was the shiny. Not worth thinking about, really. You're an NA player. Oh, cool. Always hyped to watch the EU team. Oh, nice. I'm pleased you enjoy the EU commentating, James. Really appreciate you hopping into the chat. Nice. So what was the last regional you attended, James? So guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 encounters, but the next one will be very quick. Interesting, Jeroen. I hope it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as cool as that number would be. And you would take that deal, Riley. Cool. Okay, yeah. Over double odds, or double odds. But it would be the Zangoose. Yeah, fair enough. Favorite Pokemon so hard, gotta be something like Mudkip or Rouse or Eevee. Interesting, James. Interesting. This is it, everybody. This is the last check of tonight's stream. But such a pleasure to hang with you all. Please do like and subscribe, everybody. It would mean a huge amount. There's a female, so we know that's not going to be shiny. Only male first partners can be shiny in Pokemon Gold and Silver. But, you know me, we always do one bonus check. So let's find out. Yeah, we will never know. We'll never know, Jaron. How silly. Little mistakes like that are bound to happen at some points, aren't they? Hello, Casey. Doing very well, thanks. Although this is literally the last check of the stream. But I appreciate you stopping by. Doing very well, thank you. Yeah, my Game Boy died. Or just as I was, checking one of the Totodile, which was silly because I was checking the battery, but clearly not closely enough. Anyway, Casey, how are you doing? Hope you're having a merry day. Toronto is your last. You're still chasing your first day 2, James. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Yeah, females can't be shiny, and also, in Generation 2 that is, and also, if you have an HP stat of 21, they can't be shiny, just the way a quirk of how it works in this game. And that is not shiny, everybody. That is a non-shiny Totodile there. But, 601 resets. So yeah, we're more than halfway to 1,000 encounters now, or resets, and the odds are 1 in 8,192, of course. Hello, Ash. Always a pleasure to see you. Sorry that we're just wrapping up now, but thank you for stopping by. The stream ends in 20 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can't be a female or 21 HP. Yes, well, there we go. We've ended on a 20 HP, so there you go, right? You got your wish. Right, full stream ended. No worries. Please don't apologise, Casey. Please don't apologise. Very kind of you to stop by. Very kind of you to say that, Casey. It's always a pleasure to have you here. How is your Rapidash hunt going? Hate to have a low battery and lose power. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, James, and that's so kind of you. To be called the GOAT by you, that really means a lot. Thank you so much, James. Super Merry. Thank you for hoping the rest of my week is Super Merry. I hope the rest of your week is Super Merry as well. Thank you for your wishes to the Merry Folk too, Casey. So kind of you. So everybody, thanks so much for hanging out tonight. Let me now go back to, if I can control this mouse, my goodness. Back to just me here. Thank you for hanging out. Always a pleasure to see you. So we're now more than halfway to 1,000 encounters or resets for this hunt. 1 in 8,192 was. I will be continuing with the hunt off stream. Don't you worry, just to speed things along as much as we possibly can. Very excited for this Dream Team quest. Pokemon Silver, my favorite game of all time, be it a Pokemon game or not. Thanks so much for the fun chats, everybody. Hope you've had a merry stream. Once more, please do like and subscribe. It means a huge amount. Tomorrow, 5:45 GMT. Next installment of my soloing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond with Ledian. We have 6 badges. We only have 2 to go, if you can believe it. We've managed to beat 6 gym leaders with just Ledibur/Ledian. Loving that quest. Let's see what happens next. Would love to see you here. So 5:45 GMT on this very YouTube channel. See you tomorrow. Next episode on my podcast, Chazingdra Chats, taking a stroll through the life stories of people in the Pokemon community, discovering the 6 Pokemon on their dream team along the way, is out now with Wigglia, Pokemon VGC competitor, cosplayer, content creator, influencer. Please do check that out. I had a really fascinating chat with Courtney or Wigglia, and plenty more episodes. Next week will be Rosemary Kelly. Necra will be my guest on Chazingdra Chat, so get excited for that. And at that point, that'll be the 40th episode, and so 39 more episodes on the channel to get involved in. There's bound to be something for everyone. The aim is to showcase as broad a range of people from the Pokemon community as possible. So make sure you check out the podcast, as well as the other content on my channel. I'm working on my Safari Week video. I've got Pokemon comedy skits, the vlogs of the events that I cast. Got my Discord community link below as well. Be a pleasure to see as many of you as possible in there. Let's continue hanging out off stream, sharing our love for all the treats Pokemon video games have to offer. Patreon link below too if you want to support me as a creator. It would mean a huge amount if you're in a position to be able to do so, but obviously no worries at all if not. So then, see you tomorrow for continuation of the Ledian run. Charlie, Lee, Aaron and Rosemary are commentator Mount Rushmore. I love that idea, Riley. Commentator Mount Rushmore. The idea of our faces being carved in that stone. Hilarious. Wonderful. Phase 1 complete. 1,707 encounters. Got a shiny Johto. Cool. Well, at least you got a shiny, Casey. That's fantastic to hear. Good night, Jaron. Always a pleasure to see you. Good night, Luke. Thank you for thanking me for the stream. And I hope you have a very merry rest of your evening. Looking forward to seeing you in Birmingham. Have a good night to you, Ash. And yeah, see you tomorrow, 12:45 EST. Thank you for the translation of that into your time there, Heath, for tomorrow's stream. So, everybody, thank you again. Always a pleasure. Love a bit of shiny hunting with you all. 1 in 8, 192. Those original odds, you can't beat them. Finally, for the final time, please do like and subscribe if you've enjoyed. And have a very merry rest of your day.